All right, I'm with Julia Fishman. Julia is our instructor for Foundations of Ayurveda, and we've been working together for a lot of years now. Julia, what is most important to know about Foundations of Ayurveda for postpartum?
Thank you for that question, Christine. And hello, everyone. So, Foundations of Ayurveda for postpartum, what's most important to know? This question can be answered in many, many ways, right? Like, Ayurveda is such a huge subject that people spend lifetimes studying it. So, for each person, you might say they will find their own Ayurveda. Because Ayurveda really is something that lives within us. It's a way, a framework in which we look at life. It's a very ancient wisdom that's been with us, and it's been passed from generation to generation to generation. So what I think for me, what's most foundational about Ayurveda and Ayurveda for postpartum is that it is ancient knowledge that's been passed down the generation, that each generation adds to it, including this one. So as we are studying Ayurveda, what we're actually doing is we're enriching the Ayurveda by our participation in it. And we're creating modern time, this day and age Ayurveda, which 10,000 years from now, someone else will also look at. So we're contributors to Ayurveda. And just like during postpartum window, women are contributing with their energy to the energy of their baby. So in a way, Ayurveda and how it progresses through the millenniums is the same way as the postpartum window allows the family, the mother, the baby, and the collective in general to participate with one another. So it's a very ancient wisdom, and we're here to contribute to it. So that's one point. The other thing I want people to know is that it's innate wisdom that everyone has. So it's not like a thing that, like a science that's not yet there until someone made it up and organized it. It's an embodied kind of awareness that as we learn how to tap into it, we recognize that it was always there. We just didn't have words for it. So Ayurveda took something that's very ancient, very large, and very profound in its complexity and in its depth, and organized it into a system so that we can talk about it. And for postpartum care, there's so many subtleties within the energy of the time when the new soul comes into the body, and when the mother is bringing it through and supports it. There's a lot of subtlety there, but at the same time, it's very simple. So Ayurveda helps it simplify rather than complicate, which is what's really important during that time. The allowing of the family, of the baby, of the mother, of the surrounding support system, and the community and the world in general to be able to support this new generation that comes in such a way where the ancient wisdom is infused into every day. So what you're actually doing when you're studying Ayurveda for postpartum is how to infuse sacredness, how to infuse connection of the spiritual together with the mundane, and then apply it right here in the moment. Practically, because there's a lot of places where this is facts, this is scientific, and this is spiritual. So postpartum window actually merges those. And that's why I love Ayurveda for postpartum, and I want everyone to remember that.
I love that so much. Thank you. When we were putting together our program, we kind of like sat down as a team for like many, many meetings. But why did you want to teach this module?
Thank you again for that question. It's a little bit of a question that constantly changes, as I move with the module, it changes, right? But originally, the reason I wanted to teach this module is because I love Ayurveda and I want that love for Ayurveda to be shared with others. Because to me, Ayurveda brings the depth of sacredness into the very into everything it touches, and so it's like a seed of greatness and seed of sacredness for um, for the postpartum window. So because that's what's most important to me, really consecrating human experience, consecrating life, consecrating um, how we interact with facts and information. So I felt like I could um, help others understand that as well, because that's been my life journey till now and still is every day.
It's so true. Thank you, Julia. So when we are, um, teaching this, it's so much a part of like our everyday and how we actually live. How do you feel like Ayurveda has impacted you personally? And as you've been teaching it, how have you almost expanded or learned, or like what has surprised you through the process of teaching it?
There's a saying that you learn the best by teaching. There are things I think I know, and then I start teaching it, and I start to realize, oh, wow, there's so many other things I didn't know, by just the way that people ask questions, by the participation, by also all the wisdom that comes in with different people that take our program. And our program, as you know, Christine, has attracted such magical beings. Every time I meet them, I go to myself like, wow, how lucky are we to have you all with us? So what surprised me really the most is to what degree and to what profound effect every single person that comes into the program is this little portal of wisdom that we would never have if they were not with us. So when I feel us teaching together and inviting students in, I don't see myself as a teacher per se. I sort of see myself as a facilitator of this joint wisdom. So when people come in to learn, they also come in to teach, and every student that comes through our program enriches the program in some way and enriches me as a person as well. So I have learned what it means to be an Ayurvedic sage by letting in perspectives from the students that come in. And that's been really miraculous to me.
I agree wholeheartedly. I love that. I love that description. And finally, Julia, what do you want students to experience when they take your module?
So everyone's going to experience their own path with Ayurveda and with my module as well. But for me, what's most important is that students learn how to take concepts off the page and into their life right here, right now. Because we can all talk about spirituality, but how do we practice it when we're sick? How do we practice it when the baby's screaming? How do we practice it when we're overwhelmed? How do we practice it when the world is going crazy and is trying to kill each other? How do we practice Ayurveda no matter what happens? So what I want people to experience is the ability that I have developed over the years, that I'm constantly perfecting, of using a lens of Ayurveda to zoom in to specific right here, right now, and zoom out into a wider picture and have that be at their fingertips. Because really, at this moment in time, what I've noticed we're living in is information overwhelm. For most people, the amount of information that they can have access to is unlimited. But just because there's information doesn't mean that that's wisdom. So I want to have people be able to take the vastness of Ayurveda and to bring it in so that they can use the information in a way that enlivens and deepens their connection then with their life right here, right now. So that we can bring some of the sacredness of Ayurveda into the mundane life of dealing with crying babies and food and changing diapers and so on, so that the sacredness can actually be embodied rather than talked about and then left in church. Because really, life is our spiritual practice, including everything. So that's what I want people to experience during my module. I want them to engage. I want them to look at everything, maybe get overwhelmed, come back and learn how to zoom out so that they have that skill of using that lens. And that's what Western paradigm doesn't always give. So I want the students to experience that with me. Long-winded answer, but yeah.
I love that. And I think you do such a beautiful job of that in the way that that's the project for your module, is to create your own sacred window, your 42-day routine for something that directly is benefiting you. So as we observe ourselves day to day, you said at the beginning, like, we have Ayurveda in us. We are our best teacher, so by doing that project and learning from our own experience as a human, we then can translate that in support of another person. And I just love that about how you teach and what you teach.
Thank you. Absolutely. Well, my hope for everyone that goes through our whole program is that on the other side of the program, they see themselves as a modern day Ayurvedic sage. So that the power dynamics in the collective start to shift, and so that the power of the feminine, the nurturer, the caretaker, and the supporter of the next generation becomes the power seat in the collective, rather than the fighting and the striving that has brought us to where we are today. So that's what I invite everyone to experience, is contribution to the empowerment of the feminine through our program.
That's so beautiful. And truly, we're all in it together, and we're all called to care for new parents and new families, because we can feel it in our bones that is where true importance lies, right at the beginning there.
Right.
Julia, I just want to say that you have been such a gift to my life personally and to this program. And it was not accidental that Yisha, upon her passing, brought us together. So thank you so much.
It's been such a gift and a privilege to be together and working together. Thank you.